beyond the reach of modern highways, beyond the buzz of cities and the glow of civilization, lies a lonely island floating in the middle of the Pacific Ocean like a forgotten dream. On its windswept plains, nearly 1,000 stone giants, silent and unnervingly human. They have no voices, and yet they speak. They speak of a time when mankind defied logic, built the impossible, and worshipped forces we still struggle to understand. Who were the builders of these colossal statues? How did they shape and move mountains of stone without machines, without beasts of burden, without steel? And why? After centuries of devotion, did the very people who raised these giants tear them down? The answers lie buried not just in volcanic rock but in the echoes of a vanished civilization. And if we listen closely, the stones may finally speak. Easter Island, or Rapa Nui, as the native Polynesian people call it, is one of the most isolated inhabited places on Earth. Ancient seafarers, guided only by the stars and the swell of the sea, found this remote speck of land and called it home. Then came the year 1722. A Dutch explorer named Jacob Roggeveen saw towering stone figures, some toppled, others standing. Towering stone figures, some toppled, others standing like sentinels, their eyes turned inward toward the heart of the island. There were no tools, no carts, no animals, and yet these people carved and raised statues weighing up to 80 tons. A place that should not have been reached, with monuments that should not have been built. Let's talk about the Moai. These stone figures, ranging from 13 to over 33 feet tall, aren't just statues. They are symbols of power, of ancestry, of something far greater than we fully understand. One unfinished Moai, still lying in the quarry, measures nearly 70 feet long. The ancient Rapa Nui carved hundreds of them directly from the mountainside at Ranoraku with stone tools by hand. Some Moai were hauled over 11 miles of uneven terrain. No cranes, no wheels, no animals. Some say logs were used to roll them, but that would have required mass deforestation. Others proposed the statues were walked upright using ropes. In 2012, a team replicated this method. Nearly 1,000 of these giants moved before modern contact. No manuals, just knowledge and a level of determination that defies logic. At its peak, Rapa Nui wasn't just a remote island, it was a fully functioning society. Their agriculture was sophisticated, their religious beliefs deeply rooted. The forests began to vanish, the soil grew thin, the crops failed. Tribal warfare, competition for dwindling resources, hunger led to desperation. The statues once lifted with reverence were now pulled down in rage. Was this an act of rebellion? European ships brought disease, slavery, and destruction. Only the statues remain solemn, silent, staring inward, as if remembering what the world forgot. For centuries, the Moai have stood as both icons and enigmas. To some, they are simply ancestral totem stone embodiments of powerful chiefs and tribal leaders meant to protect, to watch, to connect the living with the dead. But for others, the story runs far deeper. Some believe the Moai weren't just statues but star maps, carefully aligned with celestial constellations, marking solstices, tracking time, guiding ritual. A few researchers suggest that beneath the island lies a hidden network underground, tunnels connecting the statues like some kind of sacred grid. So far, no one's proven it. But no one's disproven it either. And here's something most people don't know. The statues have full bodies, legs, torsos, carvings buried by centuries of wind-blown soil and volcanic sediment. What we see above ground is only the beginning. But why go through such effort? Why carve hundreds of these massive beings and move them across the island when food was scarce and tools were primitive? That's where the idea of mana comes in, a kind of spiritual energy the Rapa Nui believed could inhabit objects, especially those tied to ancestors. The Moai, they believed, held mana that could protect entire clans. But even that explanation leaves room for wonder. The precision, the vision, the sheer magnitude. And then there are the outliers, the fringe thinkers, the believers. Could it be that the Moai were built using forgotten technology? Or even with help from ancient visitors, lost to time or hidden in myth? Skeptics scoff, but every great truth once began as a heresy, and every myth carries a seed of something real. Why should we care? Because Easter Island isn't just an ancient mystery. It's etched in stone, left behind by a civilization that vanished not by war, but by choice, or maybe by consequence. Why should we care? Because Easter Island isn't just an ancient mystery. It's etched in stone, left behind by a civilization that vanished not by war, but by choice, or maybe by consequence. It's a story we've seen before, and one we might be repeating. Today, we live in a world where growth is endless, but resources are not, where convenience often trumps sustainability, where we're building taller, moving faster, and forgetting slower wisdom. The Moai don't just remind us of what was lost, they ask a question: are we next? Maybe that's why they still stare inward, not toward the ocean,